Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. Welcome to my Creator Snapshots and a series on 2 to 7 minute segments where I share or other creators share on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and our travel and tips on how to create it. Welcome to a creator snapshot on what I call the 7 steps to success. So back in 2016, when I was really putting together the vision for creating a life and business I love and setting up the lifestyle brand, Fit Life Creation, as I was preparing content for my Costa Rica retreat, and organizing my day and just alignment and thinking about so many different things, I thought of the 7 steps to success, which outlines spiritual, mental, emotional, relational, playful, physical, and financial. So knowingly or unknowingly, we are always either moving towards what we truly desire or away from. And when I set up the 7 steps to success, I started becoming really, really intentional on making sure that I was taking more and more aligned actions, and at a minimum, 3 aligned actions every single day. So that's what I call my 3 by 7 approach. Because when we have a perfect day, or in our minds or in our experience, what's perfect for me, what's perfect for you, etc., then we have a perfect week, we have a perfect month, and then everything starts to shift. And again, it's not perfect per se, because life isn't perfect, but in the sense of we feel like we are progressing. So always, so in that sense, that's what I mean, that you're progressing towards purpose and towards passion and what you desire. So what can the 3 by 7 approach look like? And again, you guys, it is not about perfection. It is not about, oh my God, I woke up, at 4 a.m., at 3 a.m., at 5 a.m. That's how some people choose to run and choose to live. But truth be told, to be completely honest and transparent, because I'm here for more of that and vulnerability, and that I am and we are human beings and not human doings. And that's radically different than how I used to be 7, 10, 15 years ago. And, truth be told, I think a lot of this has to do with increased screen time, the pandemic, like many things. Like the last several months being back in Atlanta, I have struggled, even when I shut off my screens by 9 p.m., I have struggled with falling asleep, up until like midnight or 1, or even last night, like 1:30 a.m. So if I'm not falling asleep till 1:30 a.m., I am not forcing my body to wake up at 4 a.m. just to say on this time zone, I woke up at 4 a.m. But really, Katrina, you got 2.5 hours of sleep potentially, which impacts your brain, which impacts your insulin levels, which impacts how you feel, your mood, your wellness, your cortisol levels, so many different things. So I'm not here for that. So when I say the 3x7 approach, I'm talking about doing the best with the time you have, because we have all different challenges, different struggles, whether it's sleep, hormones, health, you name it, just different things that people are walking through that many of us have no idea. And because that's usually not what we share on social, or not historically, although I see more people, including myself, getting more vulnerable. I just shared about so much vulnerability on walking into 2023 on one of my posts today or yesterday, which was January 12th. If you're looking for it, I'm wearing a pink outfit and it says walking into 2023, where I share about my wellness, my journey with purity, my journey with being alcohol free 7+ years, and so many different things. So, off topic, but on. So, shifting from that, the 3x7 approach is about progression. It's about alignment. It is not about perfection. It is not about, oh, I quote unquote have to get up at this time, go to sleep at this time. Like, I am letting go and releasing perfection, because discipline, what I'm learning is discipline. You can give yourself the freedom to still be super disciplined, but that doesn't necessarily mean that for every single person that they're going to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. Like, maybe that grows into that, or maybe it becomes that. And that was something I practiced back in 2018, but it doesn't have to be that or something else that specific. So let me give you like some more insights into what I mean. So for example, spiritual. When I get up, like today, even though I fell asleep at 1:30, I was up by 8:30. So I got 7 hours of sleep, and I still think that's really good. Could I have slept another hour or two? Yes. But I had I wanted to get some things done, like with part of my morning routine, which aligns to prayer, I ams, and several things that I talked about in the last episode. So I did my 3 minimum aligned actions spiritually. Mentally, at 9 a.m., I had a presentation that I was a part of with getting my continuing professional education hours. I'm also a CPA, if you didn't know that. I worked in 7+ industries. I'm also an MBA and CPA. And part of that is, as I came back to the US, I intentionally was like, okay, I want to renew my license. And specific opportunities came up where one of the criteria in those, a couple of different contract roles, was okay, they want me to have the license. So it prompted me divinely to say, okay, I believe it's time for me to go ahead and renew this. And plus, I love to learn. So why not get the hours, and why not make it intentional with things that I enjoy? So today's session was at 9 a.m., the webinar was very, very insightful. And it talked about, which aligns to my morning routine, my life beautifully. It talked about why we do, why we do the things that are aligned to what we desire, and why we don't do certain things. Okay. So misalignment. Then after that, I had about an hour break where I dove into Time Genius with Marie Forleo and a preview presentation, and submitted full disclaimer for a scholarship application, because yes, my finances are moving in the right direction. Yes, I've made progress. Yes, I've cleared so much, but at the same time, learning to put myself first, releasing FOMO, making sure I have more than enough cash, and then I'm progressing towards paying off debt. And then also realizing if I want to or need to be in a program or believe it's going to further growth, but also asking for help when I desire it. Like, I immediately, when I was listening to the webinar and saw info on Time Genius before, and full disclaimer, I did invest in B School last year, and I walked through it already twice throughout last year. But my innate desire to learn, all of that was like, oh my God, I really want to be in this program. I know it would help me so much. But the divinely disciplined new Katrina was like, no, you cannot invest in this program financially right now. You are clearing so much with cash flow. You're almost at a point where you're stable with cash flow. You are enough. You are deserving. You are worthy of, increasing community and having more than enough cash flow. And if you do this, that's going to put you back into increased quote unquote scarcity mode, not being tight. And it's going to put you in a position where you're not putting as much as you could in savings and or in debt too. And so ask, for the possibility, submit humbly and openly and transparently, but be okay with if they say no and they believe with different criteria or values that they've set up, that someone else is, that they feel like and they're giving away several scholarships, that they feel like someone else, or other, criteria fits, and don't take it personal and still walk in with B School, because B School, when you enroll, you get to be part of it every single year, which is great. And I've just now paid off, as of February, B School. So sharing fully, openly, humbly, and transparently. So spiritually, mentally. Then I physically walked, even though it's super cold here in Atlanta and I didn't realize it had dropped to like 40s. I walked across the street to a Soul Cycle class and had a great time. Shout out to the Buckhead location. Shout out to Emma, who was telling me I have great energy. You do too, Emma. And shout out to Jadis, who led the class today and lovingly corrects us, but also gives us tough love, but also grace. Amazing, amazing class. And I met some amazing new friends. So that was physical, right? Eating healthy, consuming my Herbalife, going to Soul Cycle, walking, connecting with people in real life. Those are all mental, emotional things. So spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relational. I connected there at Soul Cycle. I connected with people here in my complex at Sky House Buckhead downstairs today. I connected with my mom. I connected with people on email. So those are all connected to relational. Playful to me is also Soul Cycle, because I had a ball. I had lots of fun chatting with the people, chatting with the things. Play can mean different things on different days. And of course, play is me also freediving in Honduras or traveling. But, that's also depends on the day. And then last but not least is financial. I reviewed my bank account. I addressed some things, with a vendor. I organized completely all my debt by order of payments and by order of balances and how many payments are left for the next several of those into January, February, and March in great detail. Then outline some incoming payments and exactly where the money is going when those payments come in. And then I organized on a broader level the rest of the debt after that. So you can see how that's aligned. And then throughout the day, to create wealth, I also ended up beyond the CPE classes. Right before Soul Cycle, I also took an incredible CPE class on understanding money types. So that was super interesting as I was walking over to Soul Cycle 2. And then right now, I'm in the middle of aligning to my launch for my 75 plus tools and my ongoing memberships with 3 different options via subkit that will be launched coming up on Monday. So you can look for that on my link in bio on Instagram, or if you're on my email list, or in the link in the show notes. So all the places, all the things. And so beyond this episode, I'm sharing a collab reel with someone that was featured on our show. Shout out to Lillian. Then I'm doing another reel on Fit Life creation, and then several other things in process too, to again create and scale what I love and align to the launch. And then beyond that, I'm working on our 30-day social plan across social channels. I already worked on a client where I do ongoing chief marketing officer work and moved several things forward with them. And then I have 2 proposals that I'm submitting for influencer marketing, and with an incredible company that does different things with sports and celebrities all around the world, as well as with Victory for Cancer. So that's amazing. It was like literally a divine download from heaven in my inbox that came to me. and with Intuit on marketing as well. So we'll see, I'm planting the seeds in faith and hope and see what happens there. I already worked on my 2023 goals, and then I broke them down even more specific this week as well. So I'm making updates to my key performance indicators. And then the last two things I have for this week, as far as in that 3x7 approach, is, thinking about the financial side, is diving into editing my vision workshop videos and or delegating those. I'm delegating several things to free up my time also today and tomorrow, just to kind of give you a quick preview. And I also have a soul cycle class tomorrow and a financial presentation. And I'm really diving in. Hopefully, it'll come in the mail tomorrow. My passion planner, and I'm finishing a painting to give myself some playtime tomorrow. So you can see how it's always extremely and increasingly intentional, of a beautiful cougar. It's like a wooden. I shared it on my stories on Instagram before, but I'll reshare tomorrow, of a cougar that is overlapped with a hummingbird and a butterfly that I got in Costa Rica. And I've been working on painting it as well. And I really want to finish it this weekend. And a Portugal photo book as well. So those are just some ideas when you're thinking about the 3x7 approach in the 7 steps to success. How intentional are you? How aligned are you? How action oriented are you to really move towards what you say you desire? And or where might you be self-sabotaging? So some of the ways that I, used to self-sabotage years ago before I lost 55 plus pounds and became alcohol free, was doing all the things that are misaligned to that, whether it was emotional eating, whether it was not eating, whether it was starving myself, whether it was overworking out, whether it was drinking alcohol, whatever, like everything that was opposite. And now, thank God, like everything is aligned and increasingly aligned and easy and effortless. And I'm in the process of doing the same thing with wealth and with money, is believing that my identity is in the eternal, believing I am worthy and I'm deserving, and acting that out with increased focus and priorities and impact, releasing the rest, automating, delegating, freeing up my time, and also diving in deep with programs like Clever Girl Finance. Major shout out to them, you guys. If you haven't heard of them, follow them on Instagram. The founder is incredible, Bola. There's so many free courses that you can dive in, and challenges. I've already completed over 7 in the last month and a half, and taking intentional action with savings, with so many different things, with the debt organization, everything. Also, Financial Peace University. I'm taking it for the 4th plus time. I'm on baby step 2 for those of you that are curious. Which you probably guessed as well. And so just aligned action, and being, really, really intentional, where I used to emotionally spend, where I used to find my identity in the external with stuff, status, cars, whatever. So challenge yourself on whatever area of life that you are focusing on in 2023 and beyond, or whenever you listen to this episode. Like, where are you self-sabotaging? And pick one area and go in deep, and become like a ninja when you start to really look at your time. Like, if like I've gotten, like, I'm so grateful and so proud of myself and to our creator, because my discipline already, like in December and now, is starting to become next level. Like, from the aspect of, I canceled my Amazon Prime to force myself to walk, to really think about if I really need to buy something, because I realize how having Amazon Prime can really just, at the click of a button, get you to buy something. And then having Klarna on there does not help at all. Then, like, I'm one of those where I refuse to get Apple Pay. Like, refuse. Because, you guys, if you don't know, when you have cash and you have $100 bill, or or 20s or whatever, we have a different emotional connection when we release money with cash. Then when we're paying with debit cards or credit cards, it's still there, but you're likely to spend at least 15 to 20% more. Then if you're using Klarna or different things like that, there is studies behind the science, because we're all like, oh, it's easy. It's just going to get divided by 4. But guess what? It can kill your cash flow. And I get it. There's been times where I'm so grateful for Klarna or others because I really, really needed it. But at the same time, it can easily spiral and get you in a bind if you're not mindful or aware of it. My Klarna's almost done and gone with, and I haven't been using it like barely, like for anything, like for months. Like I've been conditioning and disciplining myself to not do it, to not like allow myself, to even go there. And then there's like, it's like 45% more in studies that you're going to spend if you're using the spread out by 4. And again, I know some of you are in positions where it's like no different than in positions that I've been in where, hey, it helped me get groceries or whatever, and you paid it off in 4 times. But be very mindful of Klarna, Uplift, Affirm, and others where that can also lead to emotional spending or escapes. And where your behaviors or disciplines, our mindsets or paradigms are aligned or they're not. Like, is it serving you? Is it helping you walk towards freedom? Or is it pulling you away from what you truly desire and say you want? So my creator snapshots are more than 2 to 7 minutes usually, but this one clearly went a little bit over because I gave you a little bit deeper dive, but it's still less than some of my 30 or 40-minute ones. So I hope you enjoyed it. Tag me on social at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation. I will reshare, share on whatever you're learning, taking away all the things. And if you didn't know, our show got to top 100 in marketing last year. I'm testing and updating settings occasionally into different categories just to see what happens in 2023, like a child. The curiosity of a child. And if you leave a review, it helps more people know about the show and how to create it. So I would love it if you would leave a review. And if you do, leave your Instagram, leave your website handle, and I will definitely shout you out like I have on several of the last couple episodes for different people, whether Lillian or Sandra or others recently as well. And as always, friends, remember, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to. So how are you loving the creator snapshots? If you are a creator and you would love to submit a snapshot with tips on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and or travel, then check out in the show notes the form to submit for your creator snapshot for us to consider yours, as well as even more opportunities to collaborate in our Create It community. All the chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel, so you create a life and business you already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.